Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Steve Kerr dropped strong hint at career future with Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors dynasty will forever be etched in history as they captured 4 championships over the course of 7 seasons. Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson and Draymond Green will be among the most notable trios, though they had some help from 2-time champion Kevin Durant. The Warriors' reign began with a breakout season in 2015 which saw them capture the first of the 4 titles that happened to be the same season Steve Kerr took over as the head coach. They then won 3 more titles, with Curry capturing his first Finals MVP in 2022. Now, as the Warriors are looking to make one last title push, it's clear their reign is coming to an end, with Curry and Green aging and Thompson wearing a Dallas Mavericks jersey. Soon it'll be time to reflect on one of the most notorious clubs in league history as Curry and Green, with the help of Jimmy Butler, look to capture one last title. Curry took to 95.7 the game to acknowledge his future as a head coach in the NBA, with the team's former trio having retirement on the horizon. Many forget that Kerr's career as their Warriors head coach could also be winding down. In the recent radio appearance he dropped a clear note on when the end of his time in the Bay Area could come. I think every coaching job has an expiration date. It's important for all parties involved to be aware of that, Kerr said. Later on, Kerr admitted his time in the Bay Area is probably linked to Curry's, which makes sense. By the time Curry retires from the hardwood, the Warriors will likely kickstart a new era in entirety, which could come with a new head coach and reloaded roster. Preview: Brooklyn's tank meets Golden State's unstoppable force. Let's talk momentum and mismatches. Dub Nation. The Warriors 34-28 roll into Brooklyn tomorrow to finish their 5-game road trip against a Nets team 21-40. That's embracing the tank. Golden State's Jimmy Butler revenge tour has morphed into something more substantial. They have a legitimate playoff push that's seen them climb to 6th in the Western Conference. Meanwhile, the Nets are stuck in basketball purgatory, too good to secure top lottery odds, too bad to seriously threaten the play-in tournament. The timing couldn't be better for the Warriors to catch Brooklyn, who just suffered their 5th straight loss against the Spurs in a game that featured Bismack Bambo outplaying Nick Claxton. That's like getting out-cooked by someone using a microwave while you have a full chef's kitchen. The most intriguing subplot involves Brooklyn's new backcourt experiment. D'Angelo Russell and Cam Thomas are finally starting together, creating what Nets fans help is their own version of a Splash Brothers tribute band. It's like watching someone build a sandcastle at high tide. Impressive for a moment before the inevitable wave for Golden State. This matchup presents an apport to complete a spectacular 4-1 road trip and summon their transformation from playing participants to playoff locks. The Warriors are now 9-1 with Butler in the lineup, and the Curry-Butler pairing has evolved from theoretical what-if to devastating reality. The defensive end is where this game could get particularly ugly. Brooklyn's bottom 5 league offense will face a Warriors team that's rediscovered its defensive identity under the Draymond Green-Butler front-court combo. It's the basketball equivalent of bringing a spork to a gunfight. The question isn't whether Golden State will win, it's by how much. Brooklyn's paint defense was absolutely torched by the Spurs to the tune of a 62-40 advantage. Now they'll face a Warriors offense that's been generating free throws at a rate not seen since the Durant era, thanks to Butler's relentless rim attacks. If their Warriors take care of business, they'll head back to Chase Center with tremendous momentum before a 7-game homestand, and that could see them challenge for the 5th seed in the West. It's a remarkable turnaround for a team that was still fighting to stay above 0-5 just a few weeks ago. For Brooklyn, this game represents yet another opportunity to evaluate whether their Russell Thomas backcourt has any long-term viability, or if it's just an entertaining sideshow while they drift toward better lottery odds. The Golden State Warriors will be out to end their 5-game road trip on a positive note when they visit Barclays Center to face the Brooklyn Nets on Thursday after an impressive win over the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden on Tuesday. The Warriors have a 3-1 road trip to date, which has seen them surge into the top 6 in the Western Conference standings. Golden State are now 9-1 with Jimmy Butler in the lineup, yet the 6x All-Star still hasn't had the opportunity to play alongside talented forward Jonathan Kuminga, who has remained out with a significant ankle injury. The timeline on Kuminga's return continues to be pushed back after injuring himself against the Memphis Grizzlies on January 4. It was a thought that the 22-year-old could return either side of the trade deadline, that then turned into after the All-Star break and then to this current 5-game road trip now, and hopefully finally there's optimism Kuminga will return on the upcoming 7-game homestand that commences with a match against the Detroit Pistons at Chase Center on Saturday. Yet given the delayed nature of this timeline, it's getting to a point where we can't expect much until a return date is actually confirmed. Steve Kerr still didn't provide that in an interview with 95.7. The games will ardent dibs on Wednesday, but did move to ease any concerns that Kuminga had suffered a setback in his recovery. Klay Thompson has to be disappointed as Warriors find joy without him. Last summer the Golden State Warriors had to make one of the most difficult decisions in franchise history when they allowed Klay Thompson to sign with the Dallas Mavericks in free agency. It marked the conclusion of a long and drawn-out saga. And calling it an emotional L1 would be an understatement. Thompson of course provided Warriors fans with some of the best memories in all their years of fandom. Who could ever forget all the Game 6 Klay performances in the playoffs, his 60-point game in only 29 minutes while taking 11 dribbles, or the night where he made a record-breaking 14 three-pointers against the Chicago Bulls. His name is etched into Golden State lore forever, and he will forever be beloved at Chase Center along with anywhere the Warriors gather to play their games in the future. So when he began to explore free agency options outside of the Bay Area last summer, fans knew it was going to likely lead to an emotional departure, but at the same time his decision was largely understandable as well. Klay had just put up a disastrous 0-for-1 performance in Golden State's playing game, and their future as a team was not the brightest. Who could blame Klay for wanting to start a new chapter in his career and go play with a guy like Luka Doncic alongside the Slovenian star and key Irving? Thompson looked to be an elite addition that could help the Mavericks potentially win a championship. However, as we are seeing, things have not panned out how anyone envisioned. As the 2024-25 regular season comes to a close, we all thought Klay would be preparing to head to the playoffs with the Mavs and help Dallas try to reach the NBA Finals for a second season in a row. Instead, he is one of the biggest names left on a completely depleted roster. Doncic was traded to Los Angeles. Anthony Davis's sideline due to injury, and Kyrie Irving has now been ruled out for the rest of the season with an ACL injury. It is an absolutely brutal stretch for the Mavericks, and Klay Thompson has to be extremely disappointed with how things are turning out, especially given the current state of the Warriors as they continue to climb up the Western Conference standings. At the end of the day, he is still a multimillionaire athlete with a very comfortable life, but it feels hard to say he would not feel let down by the way the season and his overall situation in Dallas has turned out, and at least for the time being. And you fan, what do you think about the situation of Klay Thompson? Write to us in the comments.